Picture this. You're standing there, explaining yourself again. Not yelling, not angry. Calm, rational, careful with your words. You're explaining why you said what you said, why you didn't reply fast enough, why you needed space, why you're not the villain she's painting you to be. You think clarity will save you. You think understanding will restore balance. But as you speak, something shifts. Her eyes glaze over. Her tone changes. The respect drains quietly from the room. And here's the truth most men learn too late. The moment you start explaining yourself, you've already lost ground. You were told explaining yourself is mature, that good men communicate, that emotional transparency builds connection. So you did what you were trained to do. You opened up, you clarified, you justified. But instead of respect, you felt smaller. Every sentence felt like you were defending your existence. Every explanation sounded weaker than the last. This is the betrayal, brother. What was sold to you as emotional intelligence became emotional surrender. You didn't gain understanding, you lost authority. Here's what no one tells you. Attraction is not logical, it's biological. The female brain is hardwired to respond to certainty, direction, and emotional self-regulation, not justification. When you over-explain, her brain doesn't hear clarity, it hears instability. From an evolutionary perspective, explanation signals hesitation. Hesitation signals lower survival value. Her dopamine doesn't spike from your reasoning, it spikes from your grounded presence. Biology doesn't reward the man who pleads his case. It rewards the man who stands firm without needing permission. Let's break down the mechanism. The moment you explain yourself, you enter a defensive posture. Neurologically, that flips the power dynamic. You move from chooser to applicant. Her subconscious registers it instantly. Your words increase. Your perceived value drops. Every extra sentence floods the interaction with anxiety. Cortisol replaces attraction. Dopamine shuts down. Silence, on the other hand, communicates certainty. Brevity signals self-trust. Men who don't explain aren't mysterious, they're unreactive. And unreactive men are dangerous, in the right way. You've seen the signs. You explain, she interrupts. You clarify, she says, you're overthinking. You open up, she pulls away. Your explanations get longer. Her patience gets shorter. Arguments repeat because your words no longer carry weight. Here's a brutal example. A man explains why he couldn't text back. Another man simply says, I was busy. One loses respect, the other sets a boundary. Same situation, different outcomes. Case 1. A man over-communicates every emotion. He becomes predictable, safe, manageable. Attraction fades. Case 2. A man explains his intentions endlessly. She stops listening and starts testing. Respect erodes. Case 3. A man stops explaining altogether. He acts, he moves, he decides. She feels uncertain, but drawn. Every woman says she wants communication, but every woman responds to certainty. Modern culture failed you. Men were taught to talk more, explain more, expose more. Silence was labeled toxic. Boundaries were labeled insecurity. Feminized communication norms trained men to negotiate their masculinity. But masculine polarity doesn't negotiate. It exists. Society rewards men who self-edit. Women respond to men who self-anchor. Here's how it collapses. She stops arguing not because she understands, but because she's done. Respect turns into tolerance. Tolerance turns into indifference. You feel exhausted, confused, invisible. You communicated more than ever and felt heard less than ever. You weren't misunderstood. You were over-available.
You didn't lose her because you lacked words. You lost her because you lacked stillness. Men who don't need to be understood are the men who are respected. So here's the awakening. Stop explaining. Start deciding. Say less, mean more. Let actions replace arguments. Let silence replace justification. Be willing to be misunderstood. Detach from approval. Your calm becomes your authority. Your presence becomes the message. This isn't about manipulation. It's about remembering who you were before you learned to beg for understanding.